I am who I am because I value my past. The memories of yesterday can never be changed, but they give me a reason to live again. There is a reason I am here today, but there is no reason you lost your lives. You were called abusive names, deprived of rights to be humans, slayed because of who you were born. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I was young, I still needed you, but you were taken away from me too soon. If I had one wish, it would be seeing you again. Today we're strong men and women, even though you are not here to see. We're carrying on to make you feel proud out there, watching down on us. I am lighting a candle as the sign of resilience. I'm paying a tribute. You left a legacy, and I'm a fruit from the love you sowed. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. I am a witness that if you and I come together as one, we can make sure genocide never happens again. History should be told and passed on to further generations. Let's all stand up and all sing out, never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. There should be no war. There should be no genocide. Anyway, let's say never again to genocide. Let's say never again to genocide. We are here as one nation. We say never again. We unite as human race. We say never again to genocide. Never again. again. To genocide. Never again, never again, never again. We brought you flowers. 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 We brought you
wishing all the people of southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, a Christmas filled with hope, peace, and the warmth of unity in the face of conflict. May the spirit of Christmas bring comfort to the prisoners of conscience, strength to the refugees, and courage to the Ambazonian restoration forces. Let the light of the season inspire us to stand together in solidarity and work towards a future of peace and freedom. From ABC Amba TV, on behalf of the government of Ambazonia, may the message of love and resilience shine brightly in the hearts of all. Christmas of hope, unity in adversity. People of Ambazonia, the countdown is on. The highlight of the year is almost here.
Fellow Ambazonians, on this day years ago, we all rose as one nation to assert the independence of our beloved country, Ambazonia.
In just a few hours, get ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. On December 31st at 8 p.m. Amba time, join us for an inspiring evening as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, delivers the much-anticipated presidential end-of-year address to the nation.
This is the time to point our guns at the enemy only and not on ourselves. This is the time to escalate the defense of Homeland with rock-solid determination.
Brought to you by State House Media and airing exclusively on ABC Networks 24 in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Pidgin English. Don't miss this chance to hear directly from our leader as we ring in the new year together.
Dear people of the Southern Cameroons, we deserve our own society where our people can live in peace and dignity as was envisaged by our founding fathers.
Mark your calendars, set your reminders, and gather your loved ones. This is one address you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. You're welcome. Throughout every freedom movement, there are distinct phases regarding the Ambazonian fight against Franco-Cameroon's hegemony and belligerent occupation. We currently find ourselves in the transition phase, so the president calls it. And there are questions why we call it transition phase. This evening, during our pre-transition draft show that I have with me, Barrister Fru John Nsoh, Barrister Mbeseha, and some other panelists, we will explore crucial aspects of our journey, where we have come from, where we stand today, and where we are headed in the days to come. Why has President Sako termed this phase the transition phase? In this context, we will delve into the developments and achievements of the year 2024 in areas such as diplomacy, homeland security, and military initiatives at the home front. What is our attainment? These topics will be the focus of our discussion this evening as we prepare for the Transition Fund Drive Phase 3 with President Sako. Stay tuned. We begin right after the break. Good evening, Barrister Fru. You're welcome to this very important program. Good evening, Commander Willy. We will be having Dr. Fred Lobati and Barrister Mbeseha join us much later, but we have to begin this program. I'm made to understand that a couple of people already logged into the Zoom. I'm calling on all those who are watching us via all our social media platforms on Facebook and in YouTube to share and to inform somebody that we're live. In the course of this program, we're going to put the new coordinates of our satellite for those who want to capture us in sub-Saharan Africa, East, West, Central, and Southern Africa, all of West Africa, most of East Africa, all of Central Africa. We are currently streaming live. And interestingly, we are also streaming as we speak on Canal Plus, Horizon Premium, and on DSTV that cuts across a cross section of North and even Central and all around Africa. Most countries in Africa, they do use DSTV. The interesting part of Canal Plus Horizon is the fact that in Europe, if you have Canal Plus Horizon, you will be able, in fact, you are going to be able to watch the president live on your cable channels. Good evening, Barrister Fru. You're welcome. Greet the people as we delve into this conversation.
Thank you, Paddy, for another Saturday. Thank you for inviting us once more. Dear Ambazonians, both at the home front and around the world, we bring you fraternal greetings. Today is another day, but today we will try to bring you the events as they unfolded during the year 2024 and what we have achieved and where are we going. We will be glad to have that discussion with you. Thank you very much for tuning in.
That's amazing, Commander Willy. We've been on this journey for 12 months since January. What do you have to say as we start?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Very loud and clear now.
Yeah. Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. We come today to greet you all as you join us for this occasion. From January the 1st, 2024 till today, December the 21st, 2024, we'll be putting things together and documenting everything that have been happening on the home front. And normally, as a child, if you have a child that you send to school, the child will come back and give you a report. So you people have sent President Samuel Sarkozy Kome to manage the government, to lead us. And at the end of the year, it's his responsibility to come tell you people all what we've been doing. So we'll be presenting our report today. Remember, Paddy for home from the greet you now, but it's Fru the greet you as well. Shake no day, we will come for present annual report for everything happen for inside Ambazonia. So remember, Paddy, I will talk for Pidgin mostly, why Barrister Fru will talk for English, so that we can understand us better. What do you say?
That's amazing. Lots of things are happening on the ground. It's important before we get into what is the main conversation for this evening. It's important for us to make our people understand that the occupying forces of La République du Cameroon are not relenting in their efforts to oppress civilians. Why they find it difficult to confront the genuine Ambazonian state army, they would always resort to civilians. And one of these stories that we have, Onye will be bringing that to us. Good evening, Onye. Can you hear me? Good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, I'll get you. I'll bring you back as soon as you are ready. But I want us to just get some highlights on certain things that have happened this week, after which we will get into that story before we get into the crux of the matter. Stay tuned.
No, confirm. She no day.
Today na 15 September 2024. Danger life. Danger life. See.
Now press arm.
Go. Okay.
Today. Come move it on them. Come move it on.
Let's fight our Paco.
Today the 29th. That's good. Come on. Today. Yeah, when I can't move it on them. When I can't move it on, yes, not in this. Air Force Light. Adam this.
Republic them again. No see him no.
The gods of Congo will not allow it to happen. The convoy of the mayor of Joa and the honorable parliamentarian
Metro North constituency was attacked today. As you can see, very soon the computer will target. The computer will target. Show them.
When we just play, when I go here bad, boom boom for tilapia.
Fru John Nsoh yesterday. Now the Germany and this, one bring on the images. I seen a bullet in that for war. So yesterday, if they say, na war zone be there here. Na bullet in the war, so my country people. And the damages and that way because yesterday.
Yes. Now begin commander has two treatment them. Ghost fighter of Paco. Here is the Asa, which is being led by the only bro.
Well, you're welcome back. That is just a tip of the iceberg of as much as we could put together. We will be bringing you more of such images in the course of this program, and on the 31st night, just before the president addresses the nation, we will give to you full summary of everything that has been achieved in very beautiful images that you will love to see. So I know Commander Willy is excited to make some commentaries on that, but I would choose to suspend it yet, just so to create the anticipation. I want us to go into Bellow. I don't know, Onye, I want to believe that you can hear us now. Onye, can you hear me now?
Very well.
Can you hear
Very
me?
loud and clear.
Good.
I
I
can hear you. Hope
understand
you
this.
can hear me as well.
Yes, this story from
Can you hear
Bellow,
me?
I can hear you very loud and clear. I want you to tell us what is happening in Bellow.
All right. Good evening, Ambazonians. So the situation in Bellow, of course, in the British Southern Cameroons is a very dire one, with colonial military forces leaving residents stranded due to roadblocks and gunfire. So the event, which occurred on the 19th of December 2024, has caused significant disruption to the lives of the people in the area. Women, children, the young, and the elderly have been trapped with movement restrictions and travelers unable to continue their journeys or return home. Vehicles are stuck, and there is no clear explanation on why this is happening. Nothing has been provided for the blockade. Now, this is not an isolated incident, as we all know, as the colonial military forces have a history of disrupting civilian lives. While a viral video captured at the scene shows a restless crowd of confused women, men, and children trying to understand the situation. The individual recordings mentions that this isn't the first occurrence, highlighting the ongoing struggles faced by Ambazonians. Now let's get that video as well.
I can assure you it's not a good situation here. You see what is happening? This is Bingo Junction. Everybody is stuck here. No way to go in front, no way to go back. These are passengers, these are children, all stuck in one place. Oh, yeah. You see the station here in Bingo? This is the way to Fondong. This is the way to Fondong. You see the long line that is here. Everybody is just stranded, stuck here. No going forward, no going backward. You can imagine the suffering, you can imagine the pains people are going through. You can imagine what people are going through. This is not fair. This is not good at all. We cannot leave the population to the hands of, to the mercy of a certain group of people. See what is happening. It's not like it's the first time. This ought to have been previewed, and nobody's concerned.
Oh well, you can see that, very sad. So as night fell, gunfire was heard, and those stranded scrambled for safety, of course. Some individuals found refuge in Bingo Hospital and a nearby church, but they still faced limited resources. Stranded Ambazonian passengers have been forced to build small campfires to stay warm while waiting for the colonial army agents to decide their fate. Now, the Ambazonian people have faced numerous challenges, including marginalization, social injustice, and lots of economic exploitation. The country has been plagued by violence with both the colonial military forces and, of course, all of their gendarmes committing atrocities. This war has resulted in widespread displacement, with many forced to flee their homes and seek refuge in other areas. The history of the country is complex, with the British Southern Cameroons being annexed by La République du Cameroon in 1961. The Ambazonian people have been long felt marginalized and excluded from the political process, leading to growing tensions and, of course, eventual violence, just like we had seen. This war has been characterized by guerrilla attacks, kidnappings, and killings, majorly by La République du Cameroon. Now, despite the challenges, the Ambazonian people are still strong, with many continuing to fight for their right to freedom. The international community has been called on a regular basis to come and intervene. Some countries expressing concern over the human rights violation and scaling back military cooperations with La République du Cameroon. That we see. But for all we know, the situation in Bellow is a deep reminder of just a few of the ongoing struggles faced by Ambazonians in general. The colonial military forces' actions have caused significant harm, and it's very essential that the world takes notice and takes action to address the crisis. The Amazonian people, they are humans and they deserve peace, justice, and freedom. It is time for all to recognize this and help the people as much as they can. Mr. Tarh, this is very sad.
Yeah, indeed, quite sad. Thank you for that report, Onye. Barrister Fru, before I come to Commander Willy, we decided to highlight that because that's what happens everywhere. Just the other day, there was a situation of the same thing happening with either Cameroon military or their proxies oppressing civilians or creating situations that put our people in a very critical situation. So, Barrister Fru, I'd like you to comment on that before we get to Commander Willy.
Yes, Paddy, thank you very much. The whole of the southern Cameroon is a war zone, and La République de Cameroon forces, they give the impression to the international community that they are no longer fighting, that normalcy is returning, and so on. And you see them, the operations that they initiated, putting the civilians in Bellow in such a dire situation. I would say that our people have got to be properly informed as to the fact that the whole of the southern Cameroon remains a war zone, and the surprises can spring up at any time, and people will be stranded and suffer. It is very unfortunate, but that is the way war is, and we are at war, and La Republic can pretend as much as it wants, but the war is raging. As you can see in this picture that Onye has just presented, it is the civilians that are bearing the brunt. The two forces, I'm sure there were operations in front and operations behind where the civilians were caught in the middle. But our people will one day be free. We are getting there. There's a light in the tunnel, but we have to be resilient. I am very sorry that this is happening when people are moving. I don't know whether they were going to the market, the next market that is nearer. I don't know where they were going in large numbers, but we shall overcome.
I guess probably they are trying to anticipate and prepare ahead of time, going to the bush markets to get some things ahead of Christmas.
Correct.
Maybe that's the situation.
But they were caught in the crossfire. Both in front and behind, and that is to be expected at war times.
Yeah. Commander Willy, please. You are muted.
We can't hear. We cannot hear you. We cannot hear you. Your volume.
Okay. Yes. My papa, they would greet for home front. As Barrister Fru John Nsoh, when I know very well. I would like to correct something where panelists they talk most of the time. There is switch between violence and crisis. We there for war. The main picture now say we there for war. Remember, papa them no call and say violence or crisis. Now war. And most of we for ground will never get that sense say it would be for war. And I think that would carry out life, let's say everything they normal. Would you see how for wartime this order they be, everything they be chakara, uncertainty they be, you know time road go block. We don't educate now, we educate again. You want come out for house, carry your excess chop. You want go inside, get ready, say road free block anytime. Would you fight people them inside your house already? Sometimes our brother will say this so when you arrive home, already inside home. Now the problem for drive those who they inside where home where they be stranger when a Cameroon army Jadama police. As when they see when road the block, people they suffer. When you say suffer not be all for you where you do work for road. That means say you say you no care. Now you think if you come from point A to point B, you no care if you carry a zinc for go build house, you no care if you carry for go inside you go. If you care for this time for war, the small we get out of house, you go hold on tight, you go buy your gun, you go buy your colours, you go fight the enemy for push it out of your land. For war time, you know they come out just like pregnant woman to go dance ballet. Pregnant woman to go dance ballet. So for war time, I expect all Ambazonia them. See, if you look at for that crowd, all that man picking the shit for this, so young and able man picking the way if they put the hand for down, they go fight Cameroon within a minute. All that disorder for that area. You go show me about 20 Cameroon army, but look at the population. When population stand, who fight them? Some more people they sit to say down and think this one, I think that way. Some of them they come out remain for road. When they come out remain for road, for the military point of view, it not they worry me at all. But I care about the small picking the way they be innocent, where they be for road the way where they get some small thing them. And other parents that they carry them go for road, put them for harm's way. When war day, you know they go inside. When war day, you don't look carrying a gun. When war day, you carry a colass, carry a knife, carry a stick, carry anything for push the enemy out. So now how long when people are going to say we don't remain for road? You then inside a house, buy gun, fight. That's what I tell you now. Over to you, sir.
You never inside a house, buy gun, fight. That's amazing. It's important. I think what Commander Willy is saying there cannot make any much sense or a sense more than what he's saying. When the Jews were faced with the same situation we are faced today, every Jew was trained to be a military. If you are the home front, you must understand that you are by default an Ambazonian state army. So it is but for your own good to learn how to use a weapon so that you can protect your family, you can protect your life from the intruders. Intruders are not coming for a party. They're coming for a crusade of destruction. They're definitely not coming there to smile with you. They're coming to kill you. So so much for us to talk before we get into what has been achieved diplomatically this year, Homeland Security and the intricacies of defense. I think I would like us to begin with the defense, and I would want to bring this break. Right after the break, we'll get into the report we have for the defense briefing, and we'll now ask Commander Willy to tell us some of the things. He is a commander at the home front, and therefore he is here this evening to give to us a cross section of everything that has happened, not necessarily the entire year, but as much as he can explain for the second quarter of the year, and how relevant the transition fund drive would have helped this process. So we'll be back just after this break. Stay tuned.
People of Ambazonia, the countdown is on. The highlight of the year is almost here.
Fellow Ambazonians, on this day years ago, we all rose as one nation to assert the independence of our beloved country, Ambazonia.
In just a few hours, get ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. On December 31st at 8 p.m. Amba time, join us for an inspiring evening as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikome Sako, delivers the much-anticipated presidential end-of-year address to the nation.
This is the time to point our guns at the enemy only and not on ourselves. This is the time to escalate the defense of Homeland with rock-solid determination.
Brought to you by State House Media and airing exclusively on ABC Networks 24 in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Pidgin English. Don't miss this chance to hear directly from our leader as we ring in the new year together.
Dear people of the Southern Cameroons, we deserve our own society where our people can live in peace and dignity, as was envisaged by our founding fathers.
Mark your calendars, set your reminders, and gather your loved ones. This is one address you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
So mark your calendars. We're simply warming the ground right now to get you to that moment you've all been waiting for, when the president comes to give us a vision for the upcoming year. During the second half of this year, the president would announce, I would say the last quarter of this year, about the last quarter, the president would announce the transition fund drive. Not just because he wanted to give a title, but because he wanted to let us know that what he's seeing, we are at the transition phase. So what happens next is what we are all waiting to hear on the 31st of December this year. Let Onye, I believe you can hear me right now. I wanted to talk to us what has been happening with the ASA at the home front this week.
Oh, well, the ASA this week, they've been performing extremely well. Just the other day, two Laos Republic to Cameroon police officers were found nursing their wounds in a hospital after they were surprised by the ASA at a colonial extortion point at the Colonial Junction in Bamenda. Now, Laos Republic to Cameroon's extortion of Ambazonia is rooted in what I can call a historical, economic, and political situation, and it's caused by these factors. At its core, the issue has been stemmed by what we all call the failed decolonization process of the British Southern Cameroons. Now, the people of the Republic of Cameroon, led by, of course, Paul Biya, has over the years tried to maintain control over Ambazonia's rich natural resources. which accounts for over 60% of Cameroon's GDP. So here we know where the problem is coming from. Now, this has led to widespread marginalization, not just widespread marginalization, social injustice, economic exploitation of the Ambazonian people. The La Republic de Cameroon extortion point, like the one at the Cantal Junction in Bamenda, is just a clear manifestation of this kind of exploitation I'm talking about. So by maintaining a military presence and extorting resources from Ambazonia, La Republic de Cameroon aims to suppress the Ambazonian people's quest for self-determination and independence by milking them all. But in essence, the La Republic de Cameroon's actions are driven by a desire to maintain control over all Ambazonians' resources, suppress the people. But if, of course, the ASA will not keep silent and watch them carry out all their evil action, hence the surprise attacks you've seen. And so in full detail, it was on Friday night, Friday 13th December 2024, two colonial police officers sustained critical injuries during gunfire as the Ambazonian State Army paid them a surprise visit at their extortion point. It occurred at Cantal Junction in Nkom at about 7:30 p.m., where the colonial army for the whole had been extorting from road users and was still making more money for the colonial regime at the expense of Ambazonians, greatly paralyzed by the ongoing war. Well, eyewitnesses described the gunfire as intense, creating widespread panic among residents. Stray bullets reportedly pierced through nearby buildings. Some civilians sustained wounds during the confrontation and were rushed to hospitals, of course. Two colonial police officers suffered wounds and are in critical conditions as we speak. Of course, there is an amateur footage showing their colonial officers receiving treatment for bullet wounds at a health facility in Bamenda, chief town of the Midland Zone of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia. Of course, also Ambazonians and ESA have vested some of their ammunitions from them as well. Ambazonia, as it is hosting an 8-year war declared on by, of course, the dictator of La Republic de Cameroon against Ambazonians. What happened? Just because the people expressed their frustration with the kind of inhuman treatment they are receiving from La Republic de Cameroon. That is the reason why they are being dealt with on a regular basis. That's not all. In another related development, yet another act of bravery and resistance and self-defense, still on the 13th of December as well, the Ambazonian State Army presented its latest national harvest from a successful ambush mission carried out at Nkom Cantal Junction in Mbeseha County as well, Federal Republic of Ambazonia, during the operation. Well, at least this particular report has it that 3 elements of La Republic de Cameroon's B forces of occupations were neutralized and their weapons retrieved. Over the past few weeks and months, the ASA has presented no fewer than 10 to 20 weapons successfully recovered from the invading forces of neighboring La Republic de Cameroon illegally stationed across Ambazonia. The ASA continues to, urge the terrorizing forces of La Republic de Cameroon occupying Ambazonian territory to surrender their weapons at the nearest ASA base, as they have no stake in the coming war, but cutting short their innocent lives. In line with the international law, including the Geneva Convention, such combatants will be offered protection as enemy soldiers who are willing to lay down their arms. This is a clear reminder that Ambazonians will remain steadfast in their resolve to defending their homeland and their sovereignty against any colonial aggression. There are a few videos that we have that I'm sure Ambazonians would want to watch as well. All right, I'm sure that some of these videos will definitely excite you. Mr. Tarh, over to you. I'm sure you
Fight off, Paco. Today, the 29th. That's good. Baba.
So those were just some snippets there. Commander Willy offered to you. I want you to talk to us. I'm sure you have the briefings of what has happened to Ambazonia this week with the Ambazonian State Army. Before we get into the intricacies of what has been happening all this while, I would like you to just talk to us a little bit on what is happening.
Yes, actually, the way it happened for ground now, why you see the ground the bubble, because of the new recruits, the way they don't interfere, but they don't join the various unit. As for the fight for this year, might just give brief a little bit. We don't get 1,312 new recruit them. We will know of. They don't join the various unit them for the 13 county 61 LGA. As you see, when new recruit they don't come, most of them the life will go out carry out operations them for get that strength. Now you see the ground too it hot in a certain way, and they bring that tactic as such. And then some fighters and two again will advise them if you don't tire for fight under Commander A, you go right for Commander A for talk with Commander B, and then we'll call what we call transition. Mr. Paddy, if I don't like leadership, then I feel to say, hey, since Barrister Fru is still commander too, I feel work with Barrister Fru for see how it be. You go say, okay, now you go coordinate me and me, I work under Barrister Fru. That way my behavior will be different and my things will be different, because sometimes people that behavior sometimes they slow operations based on judgment, and so it make them we see the ground they be the way they be. We don't learn for rotate some commander them and some fighters them under different command for them to carry out operations. So over to you.
That's amazing. Barrister Fru, I'm sure you got these reports from the ground. How do you feel just watching, even at the time when Cameroon is making the propaganda, just watching all of what is happening? I'm going to play the video for us to watch again. Just talk to us.
I am very elated by the announcement by Commander Willy that more than 1,000 of our young people have been recruited into the ASA in all the 13 counties and the 61 AGAs. That is outstanding. And La Republic of Cameroon, I don't know what their strategy is. You know that the Bamenda is hot. You are aware that Bamenda is a war zone. You have made it so. And then you send your colonial forces to go and collect 500 on the road. And that's what happened in the junction there at Council Junction. Our people, our ASA will not allow you continue to exploit our population. So they surprised them, not only once but twice, and neutralized some critical condition, and they collected arms. That is progress. We are keeping the fire alive. Our people are keeping the fire alive. Well, we will get to where we will have to explain this issue of transition, because it was properly planned and is ongoing. And because of the events that are not under our control, the events are uncontrollable by us, but we lay at watch. And to lay watch, we must prepare to take action when the time comes. But for now, our ASA is doing us proud on the ground, and all we can do is to say bravo to all of them.
Amazing. I want us to talk about the impact of the transition. This is phase 3. We've had phase 1, phase 2, and now phase 3. I'll begin with you, Commander Willy. You need to tell us, you've been involved on the ground. Prior to this, they've been drafted. You want to encapsulate all of that in your conversation. Talk to us. How has this impacted the work you're doing on the ground? Phase 1 and phase 2. How has it impacted the work you're doing on the ground? And why must Ambazonians take phase 3 very seriously as they anticipate something even much better? Commander Willy, please.
Yes, fellow Ambazonians, as soon as they see most of the occasion for ground and the tactic, they know it happen for ground, based on our financial support, they know for happen, but because of our energy and strength, we're gonna not forget, see this war, now the people's war. The people from Ambazonia and then get this war. So the transition draft, it helped a lot financially for equip the men and women for ground, for feed them, for guide them, and for give them more ammunition for them to carry out their operation. And again, remember, if you call a fighter, you educate them on certain things, sometimes you get for secure them. In the terms of Masapan, small dodi for Nafoteka for Dame, you get for do all those things. So the transitional draft, you do what you get for do, transit for move the people them forward. Before I jump to continue, Paddy, I go one for tell you today. So coming January the 1st, 2025, Come Young them, they not be welcome against Ambazonia. Come Young, they not be welcome again. A part of the transition as such. They're not going to welcome into Ambazonia. In the days ahead, we will put a picture of the kind of trucks that we want to save Ambazonia. And we will give them some small reason why I will link out the transition. The transition, I say, as the government move in a diplomatic transition, for the military too, we move in a military transition. Those trucks them own at the sea, and so those camion them, they help for can carry out where archives, where evidence and go with. If you see number one, if you see where Ambazonia State Army then they blow up these trucks them and they hillocks them for the Republic. You see that they carry those camion them, they can't give it piggyback right. They can't move them, put them for their camion, then they can't they transport them. So why people they need to see and say they need to see the gain where they how did they hit the enemy. Because when they don't knock an ammo car, then Kabru Army they carry their camion, they can't carry that ammo car where they don't twist them caterpillar, put on top of that camion, they carry and go for Douala and Yaoundé. We inside Ambazonia will not go see them because they go cover them with their military camouflage. And why people don't know say this so they don't knock their motor because they hide all their evidence and hide all their victory. So that camion them they help for move out evidence them for what they do for the Republic. And again, it carry chop and raw material them for go. Now, people they get for look and say when President Sako and for the government from Ambazonia, our president, with the team, as they don't bring transition draft, they transit in a political side. That side, I know my feel that Barrister Fru will talk for that side. But for the ground, we will transit in the terms of command and control, in the terms of movement and tactical decision making for ground. For make and say, make we are fighting for ground to make them to be equipped because knowledge is power. May they be equipped. If you don't look for the past days, them Cameroon army, they get too much head-on confrontation, but they come now in an ambush kind of manner. Where we have in the days ahead we will make audios and for the educated people them how for report ambush, how for identify ambush, how for link up where Ambazonia State Army them. Because if you see as Cameroon army don't transit to a certain tactical way they do an ambush, if you know report and say army there for you, when they kill an Ambazonia State Army, they don't kill their pikin, they don't kill their woman, they don't kill their husband, they don't kill their master. So we'll say all for one for all. So as we are men and women that they carry out the operation for ground. Now, for everybody for move money, put them for down, make we push them. Last but not the least, when President Sako say transition, once you move money, give your mommy a cook chop. Once you want to forget the final chop for table, other than rice and beans, on rice and stew on a waiting, you go sell life for see. You know, go see how your woman go to say, I be move $1 for buy this or for move this or this. Once the final chop, after I see the result for ground, we will can get today for now the final chop. Last but not the least, when I see this book, they want to stay for house. I they document everything from January to December for anything that happen. If I get a report for house, I will document them. They want to stay inside motor. If I get anything where it happen, or I did for motor, the drive, I pass for roof on corner, I document them. They have to reconcile them together. So for January till December a day. After that, I can type everything for present time for owner, so that everything be authentic for what you are getting for day. Before I want to make report at the investigator for ground, find out, and then we'll get the agents and two where they come up for one location to the next. They go for ground and then they look on what we do for push the forward, they struggle forward. All the information, enough for being accomplished without una help for ground. When they send pictures, audios, videos, and try for the direct way and guide you on which decision we make for ground for push the struggle forward. We will not be aware. For inside Ambazonia, we'll get about 2% of people that get camion, the rest are francophones. So why Mr. Paddy will give me chance for presenting the material as we go, I will give over the microphone back to you, sir. Over to you.
Yeah, I would like to stick with you again before I come back to Barrister Fru. I want to ask you a question. You mentioned a host of new recruits. I know to recruit them, you are not just calling them and enlisting them. It takes resources. Would you say it's part of the transition fund drive that has made it possible for all of these new recruits to be actualized?
Well, when it comes for this, I will be honest with you. I never ever, my department never ever call nobody for recruiting. Never. And I said they volunteer. I never ever, or my department never ever call anybody say, come go fight, go recruit. No. And I said they will volunteer. A commander will tell you, say, hey, pa, it is will get 30 men for year. And we want for now so get 50 more. We want for get some more help from the government. Maybe so what if we open another camp for Kosala or for this area or for this area. Therefore, then the government will get involved, and then that solution will be taken care of. Government no they call nobody say you John can't go fight. No, now then for grant they call you, tell you say pa na with this for here. Pa look at see me I get a sepas for food. We dey with 15 I get a sepas. Pa we don't need nothing for una. I don't need nothing for una. Already get gone. We go take them from the Republic. Pa una fit give you all on a 2-packet magazine. Now they will ask you and some small boots. So if you go take gun. Once government provider for them, believe me, they go harvest. All the guns them they must buy gun them again. Most guns they kind of for the Republic. Because waiting for the past way we see them. Now say we will spend money for buy guns where you know they make sense too much. Most guns they be manufactured in Ambazonia. We will get various way we train the men for ground. Gun be very easy for maker. Then they take that one, they unscrew a gun. Then they see another one, make the prototype of that same gun, and they will use them, shoot out different blanks and other things, and they work. So you see, we know when you talk of recruitment, we know they call nobody say can't go join you, go fight. They know. Then as I said, they tell you that themselves. Just like we know they appoint anybody general. We never ever appoint anybody general. Once they fight, don't choose who they choose.
So some of these resources, when they call, don't actually help for establish the camps and where you mentioned.
It establish the camp for the region, and why you establish the camp, you go for feed the camp, and they go for stay in touch with the commander where he call you for that area with the chairperson or the defense person with that LGA. You document with the defense person. I don't want to be in a 2 or 3 way call with the chairperson or the commander for that region. Then they know how many people they did for that camp. Then they know the type of support where government feel if you send them for them. So government will send that support for them. Then they will take enough for continue. As they fight well, you see others they join because anyone want join a commander where it be successful. You see when they go carry out operation. So if they did them 5, they go carry operation successful. You see other men who can say power master power don't be with 25, power don't be with 30. But now you not like me like a commander for ground. I know I'll say okay when I do not 30 now and I go split into 15 so that because the smaller wanna be, the more easy for work around. Because when I go be like if you keep 100 to 50, 40 people in the same area, you see you go for split the 9 small units, and then you assign them unit A sub 1, unit B sub 2, but under a certain commander where they will report for you and they report for us. So the government wants send money, go send up for the commander, then it go see the other commander say, hey, I don't said $100 for Peter, for Gia, for Paul and Mary, and then all them will be in accord with it. So when it comes for transition, the transition money when they put up for the government, it go down to the people that they get for get them for fight. Most people will say, oh, that money, government is trouble for up, government trouble for up. You know, Paddy, you're not gonna know the taste of the soup until they inside the kitchen. You see, if you pass the road, so mommy the cook shop, you're not gonna know, say, oh, they don't cook shop, they say rice. Unless you be part of that cooking process, now you will know how things that they work.
The interesting part for all two, we don't talk, we say the money, the transition phase 1, phase 2, don't help to establish the new camps that we talk about. They provide medication, resources, which is a legal thing to do, money for the people for be able to protect and protect themselves and protect the community. So there's strategic expansion because of the phase 1 and phase 2. Am I correct?
Correct. Yes, you are correct.
I mean, this is quite amazing. Barrister Fru, talk to us.
Yes, Paddy, I want to make something very clear, which Commander Willy has just made allusion to. we are a voluntary army. Our people are voluntary army. Our children are voluntary army. The boys and girls that you see fighting and giving their life, they were not recruited. They volunteered to join the army. And as they join the army, we have a moral duty to ensure that they have enough boots to wear, to ensure that they can eat, to ensure that they have the small resources to be able to fight. We have recovered a lot of arms from La Republic of Cameroon, but we still need granite, so that will supply. But you must know that not all the transition money is going now to the fight as such. It's preparing for a certain period. This transition draft, as much as it is being used to take care of what is happening on the ground, it is also preparing for something in the future. Between now and 2025 is a very crucial year for us, because as we may well know, Paddy, the enemy does not have leadership. There is power vacuum within the enemy, and it's not going to last for long. We are waiting for that period where somebody will say, "This is it. This is the power vacuum." There is actually a power vacuum. Then the transition process will kick off, and of course, Willy knows the rest, because when they were doing their defense briefing, some of us were not there. But for the meeting that we had in DC, we prepared for the eventuality. I cannot say more than that. I cannot say more than that. I cannot say more than that. But
that's what I'm trying to interject. That's what I'm trying to interject.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. What I'm interested in is just the portion that has gone for the transition for on the ground and the impact of it. And that's what I really want us to talk about. The rest is
the impact. Before I continue, there's something that I have to bring to the attention of Commander Willy. That bus system that has been developed, that leaves Yaoundé and Douala and goes to Nigeria through our territory, should be stopped at all costs. Because, first of all, you know that Nigeria and Cameroon are fighting us. For now, we don't know tomorrow, but for now, Nigeria is not exactly a friendly country to us. So we cannot allow free movement in luxurious buses from Douala through to Kumba, through Manu, right to a Cock and into Nigeria, exploiting our people along the way and carry, I don't know what they carry to deliver along the way. That is something that you, Commander Willy, you have to look into it and see how we can handle that situation. I saw that video and I was sick to the stomach. So that's what I thought I should bring it to your attention. Talking about what is happening with the transition funds, they are being used on the ground, but we are also preparing. Part of it is will be used to prepare for the eventuality. We don't want the chaos in La Republic of Cameroon to cross over to our territory, and therefore we have a duty to protect our people and to ensure that.
I'm just interested in what it has done so far. All of that other aspect is strategic and intelligent information. So, Commander Willy, you have something to present to us. The floor is yours.
Yes, Sheikh Node, as a one for all Ambazonia State Army, all mobile unit them, all immigration enforcement unit them, and to the whole world. we come today for thank una for the work una they do, and as a matter of time, we go present una the report where they happen for ground. From January the 1st till December, we will talk for una. So today, 21st of December 2024. The total army they die for inside Ambazonia, that's the Republic Army they die na 88 army them. That's including General Police, any military personnel for inside for La Republic where die inside Ambazonia, na 88. And then 46 be wounded. 46 they be wounded in Ambazonia. The 115 they be deserted. That means one day they descend from Ambazonia, they can't fight. So when they give their gun, they run away. So when they come for Ambazonia, they cry, they run, they be deserted. And then friendly kill. One day they take gun, shoot themselves or commit suicide. Now 6. This one will not count illnesses. So one day they die of malaria and die of other illnesses. We will not forget statistics for them. But they be for the hospital where they sick malaria and other illnesses, other poison, where they be poisoned in Ambazonia, or as they go for the thief inside people, the houses, them people they make medicine where they catch some of them, they die. So most of those one day they die, we not fit document the one day they die due to traditional rights from Ambazonia people where they make them for kill them inside Ambazonia. Now, as these people they don't die so Ambazonia, so the total now where don't be taken out of commission now 255. That means say 88 he die, 46 be wounded, 115 he be deserted, he run away, then friendly kill 6, total 255. We don't create a vacant for Cameroon Army, Gendarme Police as a whole. Then now, as for inside Ambazonia again, they lost for Cameroon Army, they lost 16 hillocks. They lost 16 hillocks where they come with inside Ambazonia. And one hillocks, na 30 million CFA francs. I not talk in terms of the content inside the hillocks. I know we no factorize whether they get machine gun inside the hillocks or they get anything where fighter the harvester inside the hillocks. We just talk direct hit. Where when they hit the motor, it go airborne, it's chakara into 2, remember on a road. Now 16 hillocks. Where Ambazonia State Army them, the chakara for 13 county. And 61 LGA. And again, if you multiply 16 times this 30 million, you get 480 million CFA. I go do the talking while when I economics when I go do the maths later. Then 9 armor car where Ambazonia State Army they be chakaram. When I talk of hit, that say motor the knock and way it no be functional again. Where chakara totally will no be functional again. The one where they shoot them where run go will not be counter. The one the way where the knock and way chakara it remain for road. And as we say make sure I know the pass because they can't carry that armor car and go down. So 9 armor car where they be chakaram. One armor car it costs 60 million CFA, and for this 9 times 60 it will cost 540 million CFA. And then Cameroon Army they lost one helicopter. They lost one helicopter. Where the price of one helicopter 920 million CFA for that. So 16 hillocks, 9 armor car, 1 helicopter. We not count motorcycle then we Cameroon Army they lost them because some of them move from motorcycle and other equipment they use them for the move. We not count those ones. They do count as just a big object official. And then now we're going for the economy part for it. As Ambazonia State Army they hold the ground strong and the civilian population. As they hold the ground strong, we don't say Cameroon government they don't fit the get again chop don't be reduced where they go for Cameroon. Now, as chop they reduce hungry for La Republic, they increase tax. When I don't say they go to tax people, they pay tax even you no get job, they pay tax. So it don't make them they don't be squeezed for that side. And then Cameroon government again they import fuel, gasoline. They import gasoline. That means they don't go to the poverty level where they no fit thief gasoline for Ambazonia again. Now because say Ambazonia State Army and the civilian population they attack any motor we can carry raw material like timber, cocoa, oil, all raw material them where State Army they attack them. That means they make an Cameroon Army if it produce in a normal capacity again for meet up with the international market and the need. So I think that you see that they import oil for their country. And they increase as we don't with the tight, they don't increase gas price, they increase gas price for their country. For this year, they don't increase them twice for their country. And some segment them for the economic section them they don't close because they know if you be before Douala when I make so now factory for plan. Therefore plan no they come again. As plan no dey come again, it make another factory go close. The one that the ship when we be send like 4 ship every week for Wyman country for carry cocoa, carry timber and rubber them for go, they come again. So most ship they don't leave Douala port, they don't go Shidon for other countries them where if they fit the transport that's in them. So they don't look for Nigeria. Then if you come, if you get ship company where they come for Douala, can carry every week it dislodge 4 times. Now if you can allow half load, then no need for come again. So it make a most francophone they don't lose their job. Then now the section C, that's section D now. For the Ambazonia State Army, we'll get an increase of 1,312 new recruits. That's both men and women. Include Ambazonia State Army, Mobile Wing Unit, Ambazonia Secret Service, Custom Enforcement Agency, and Ambazonia Spy, the day inside, and Ambazonia Sniper, the day inside, all this unit. The challenge we'll get now for meet up with some of those needs. So if we now put money for the transitional draft, we will help for equip some of them. Some of them need just a basic thing like shoes. We know how many man go fight for battlefield with pass because it go slide it, choke your foot. Just shoes where they fit keep up. Medicine, small things them will be up to the task. And then again for inside Ambazonia again, we give 8 generals in Ambazonia. We get they get triangular medals. 8 will be awarded for the generals and for where they are alive for inside Ambazonia. And then 3 be awarded for those who they don't die. So those who they don't die, they will get those medals. Now, yeah, and overall, it's when I look at Ambazonia State Army, they get command and get control for ground. They don't master the ground. If I look and find, since President Sakobi said this, so make we find way for reduce the way they go to kill our generals them. So call our generals the mobile wing chiefs, and if interchange them, say commander this general this, but if we call the mobile wing chiefs, they don't reduce the number way Cameroon Army they define where generals for kill them. So if you don't look, they mostly kill them one by one. Before when we call general, they can't define a general. This is a killer. General, this is a killer. So don't reduce the red way where Ambazonia State Army they die. Where even now for make all my enter for Boya as a team. Now we can go now for section E. When I ghost town for Ambazonia na superb. Ghost town na superb. We calculate the ghost town. It be very simple. 4 months they for a month. So if you calculate them for times 12, now 48 days. For where ghost town it don't be. As ghost town it be every month when I ghost town. Well, that means you'll get 48 days. That means one month, 3 weeks for when I get control for manage a business, and for that day Cameroon government don't get nothing for do that because even the ghost town day, all Cameroon, like the people inside Ambazonia they respect them. Even the Janama police they respect them. This one I was showed they say na 2 Cameroon a day, Ambazonia that's British Southern Cameroon and La Republique. Because the ghost town day for Monday for inside Ambazonia. For La Republique, they carry out the normal activities. Now, lockdown, then 2 for ground. We get them 2 weeks lockdown for September, I don't forget. But from January to December, we don't get 33 lockdowns and 10 curfews. So totally, if you add all those days, now 81 days, that's the 48 days lockdown, 48 days for the ghost town, plus the curfew them. We don't get 81 days. That means now 3 months, one Ambazonia. If you put them for the whole year, for the 12 months, 3 months, completely 3 months, Ambazonia get control total for 3 months for managing activities with Cameroon government interfere in any capacity. Because lockdown they respect that. Now the advantage for lockdown now the skill for sure say every Ambazonia be armed because not all man go carry gun, but those who they get that will power for shooting for house will detain them because they make it be possible. For fight enemy, silenceness now part of war, now weapon for war. As for people that shoot down for house, they be safe, they know they respect ghost town and lockdown. It put Cameroon government for tight spot. Number one, how would they gain as a country for this? Lockdown the Minister Ambazonia, ghost town the Minister Ambazonia. First, maybe we start first with a Monday ghost town. Cameroon government they pay workers them inside Ambazonia where they need to go work. When I look and find. Then they pay workers them inside Ambazonia where they need to go work. If Cameroon government get 5,000 workers inside Ambazonia, they pay 5 million a month. They pay 5 million for one day. Therefore, if they don't go work for that Monday, therefore that you don't put that money for trash. Cameroon government, it damn say for the 8 days, you don't pay workers inside Ambazonia where they don't go work at all. That means for the whole year, Cameroon government don't pay a colonial people inside Ambazonia for 3 months where they don't go work. And when I want to do economy, when I calculate their salary for every sector for the whole Ambazonia, me I not go do that one. I'll give military thing. So for 3 months, Cameroon government it did for big deficit because it pay people they know they go work. It pay people they should don't for house, And as such, that one a foolishness for Cameroon government in own part. If Cameroon government will take that money, it will develop very well for your own country, but if you do so. Inside Ambazonia now, we go month by month for just give a small synopsis for the various months and for things the way it happen for ground. For the thing that you happen for ground, for January the 8th, we will get a grand ghost town where it be for ground. For January, Cameroon lost 83,500,000 CFA for January. We Cameroon government be lost. But the final report began up now for the encompass the whole thing. The one I just for touch on tactical basis where it be happen. Like after I see they will destroy a Humvee for ground, Humvee military truck where it costs 4.8 million CFA. This one are just a small internal flesh way they inside where a comparison for the whole big picture. For February, Operation Cut and Nail will take place where it be carried out by Ambazonia Mobile Wing, Immigration Services, Sanitation Services, Secret Police. For March, Cameroon government will lost 75 million CFA, and for March, Ambazonia government will create what they call Ambazonia Post Office, where it will be headed by captains. Those post officers, they get their special duties. Why I'm not going to talk for here. And then for March again, for the military side, we'll be focused for do what we call military drilling. It will help for reduce the rate at which people they go for DDR center. We tell them the importance for no go for DDR center. We call other people them for other experts. We talk for military people. They give me audio. I send them for them for back for see the importance and for detect anybody who want to go for where we want them for derail for this struggle. And then we'll guide the fighters for ground for side for hand the weapon in case they don't tire. And then we'll rotate the fighters as such. If you don't fight, you don't tire. If you tell your commander, say, I take break for 2 days. 2 days, if you stay for camp, while others they fight. So it make that way, it kept down fatigue. So people don't feel they go report themselves for the center. We'll not be get any reasonable number for anybody will go for the center except 2 we know of. And those now born picking the way they run go back for somewhere they come up. So when those way they go for DDR center, now when they get the DNA with French Cameroon, so that then we go back. When we see how Chamberlain for Kumba, other places they can't say an Amber fighter and this Amber fighter, that one a lie. That no Amber fighter they go give gun. It's a fighter they come up for India, they can't give gun for Kumba. It don't make sense. Go as a take reporter for Bishorogan. So now for the month of March, we'll be using military drill. It be comprised for discipline, may they learn how for discipline each other, for partnership, for carry out movement, precision movement, for worker would have been detected by the enemy, and if enemy catch you, have to present yourself and have to come out of the situation. And then will be for coordinate power in terms of fighting. If I look and find for ground again, we're fighting the follow army, they for back again. Say, oh, that and this, then they run from point A like before they run from 1 point for 2 miles, follow army. No. When they run again, if you run to a certain level, the other person for the other unit, they pick up the chase. We try to do what we call like reducing, like just like the way they do in America. When you run enter one county, the other county go just pick the chase from there. So they make the county to be energized. That's why Cameroon army, if you run away from where you're trapped, if Peter gave us time for point A, shoot them. When they run go for point B, they go meet up Martin or Paul. When they go continue the shooting for day. So Peter no go for run again. When they don't pass the killing zone, the fighter need to run again, so that way they reduce the rate at which the fighter they be exposed for Cameroon their ambush. So we educate them on that, and then we educate them and teach them how to handle weapons, how to wipe guns, how to operate guns, and then we get an expert who will help with you for when they seize gun for military for Cameroon military. They send with the gun their serial number. We send for expert forum. Expert they tell us how to operate those guns, and then the fighter the operator. Some of the fighters they never be exposed to certain guns because of this war. They don't be forced for doing for 6 guns for Cameroon army. So they see certain guns them. We know they show them for TV because it will make Cameroon army for run for go take them. When they get certain machine gun where they sit them for them. So the basic one, the joke can show them for now, and then some for back. We know they show them for now for back. So no one understand the so it did. So Cameroon government be lost. Cameroon government be lost for the month of March. Cameroon government lost 46 million CFA. We lost them. And then the general too for ground, they will get a Ambazonia Triangle Medal awarded for the generals. I know they call the generals name, and no one lay emphasis. Make Cameroon government go to find them for kill them. One and the English boy as a whole. Then for the month of April, Cameroon government lost 80 million CFA for ground. And we will not be here fighter say we will show them Makaka. I know we'll call the fighter the name. And then the government will get a midland draft where we raise more than 50,000 CFA. That's 30 million CFA. That's for the month of April. And then again, we get fighter and for gravity, we receive again bronze medal, where they will receive bronze medal for this month of April. Then for the month of May, Cameroon government we lost 71 million CFA. And we will fight them from Bonga area. They will go to for Catholic Church. They go tell them the stuff for the issue birth certificate them. Where they issue birth certificate them. So, and then we will honor FM Sagon with the Ambazonia Triangular Medal for fighting where we die. We will honor for honor for the month of May. And then again, we'll come now for the month of June. For the month of June, we get some curfew them for ground. Where we involve Meme, County, Lebialem, Donga Menchum, and total 16 LGA where they get that curfew for that area. When curfew they have to for Cameroon Army and police no worker and Cameroon government they lost money. The same for the month of June, Manu, Fako, Boyo, and Bui. Them too they get a lockdown, a curfew that's on the June 27, 29, 28, and 29. They get that. Now for July, we get a ghost town, and we get what we call Federal Solidarity Prison Day for the month of July. That Prison Solidarity Day, an important day from Ambazonia way every Wednesday, where mommy them they go for prison houses and they visit with our brothers them and sisters the way they did for jail. They give them chop. Make I take time now for explain for now why for Prison Solidarity Day from Ambazonia, Federal Prison Solidarity Day be important. I will start first from Nigeria. We are refugees from Nigeria. They go for prison yard for Nigeria. They visit some Ambazonia the way they put them for prison. One girl before they visit, if you work, if you talk, if you work. When they become people, they come meet up people. They say, "Oh, thank God." At least people that don't discuss how they even if I die, I know at least I know I die for where nobody knows how where they. For instance, Ambazonia, where I meet them, they go visit jailhouses and will keep track. Mommy and Papa, the importance for this thing was say Prison Solidarity Day. Now, for keep track for yourself. How many were picking a day? If you get 10 picking for jail for this week, you go visit them on Monday or Wednesday. You want come Wednesday, they don't remain at 5. You go ask Kabro Army, so who's the other 5 the day? If we know the visit we are on picking them for jail, Kabro Army go move them the shooter. We no go keep the number. Now the thing that will say make we visit, we are picking them and brought them for jail for keep track or keep say the day we did together with them. When you visit them for jail, if they don't tie some picking, they beat them every day. At least on Wednesday, Kabro Army if even look you come to the fear eye, they losing say make it down for chair. So that day they don't go beat it. Everything being at the tea, they say make it wash just to be presentable. So those days they be important for visit picking them for jail. Maybe we not forget, and we are former president, Mr. Yoktabe Julius, and the cabinet member them all in there for jail. So na part of that thing for honor, we are brothers and sisters ready for jail. No freedom fighter will be who will forget it. And I think that way Prison Solidarity Day a day for keep that cohesion. Say we did together, we're not gonna forget them. And those in for jail, we're not gonna forget them. And again for July, we'll be honor American military. For July 4th, we'll be honor American military. And for July 4th, we'll be get a mega draft again for Eastern Ambazonia. And then for July again, we'll give Ambazonia triangular medal for a general for Eastern Ambazonia. And then for July the 20th, we'll get Bui draft as such. And then again for the month of July, we'll honor General Hanok and General Gabonese with Ambazonia triangular medal for their skill for communication. We never come so far without those generals giving us communication information for ground based on the information they gather and their investigation. So General Hanok and General Gabonese will get Ambazonia triangular medal for the month of July. For the month of August, for Mezam My 4, commotion will happen for day. Well, I know what detail to it. Commotion will happen for Mezam County. For September, it will careful be to effect where we see community now. That's for September. If we start where we say pack them, they go relocate from Bamenda to Metazem. Say no bus, it go travel again. Because those buses they come with 70-seater buses carry army them, for up where they don't intervene, enter where villages them, kill mommy them, born picking them, born houses them. Now, if bus not the worker, therefore na taxi the worker and motorcycle and clando, it will make our people drivers will get money because those buses them, agencies them, now for the Republic way come out now then get buses them. When my people them they go buy bus, they tax them high, they need to first get a loan for take that bus. So now Francophone, they get those buses. I think they'll say those buses, 12-seater and above, if you get for big bond, you not get for big circulate inside Ambazonia. For come for matters them, go for Bamenda, na olo taxi and motorcycle. Likewise, for Fako, if for come for Fako, that's for Tico, you go for N for Mundoni, now for the taxi go carry N for Mundoni, you enter your motor, you go Douala. If you come from Ambazonia, bus go stop you for Mundoni, you take taxi or motorcycle, you come for inside Ambazonia. But the 12-seater buses, them, they fit circulate inside Ambazonia as a whole. Libya them and Chang, the same thing. Ndonga Mentum and Chang, the same thing. Then again, for the month of September, we honor Mr. Are Egbe, will be killed for September the 22nd, 2017, by Day for Manu, when Ambazonia State Army, the Colonel Dio will come up for inside a house, he can't shoot Ambazonia State Army for front the house with the gun, we kill it. So we honor you with that medal, for no forget. For the month of October, na Independence Day for Ambazonia, and we see how Ambazonia State Army they will perform for ground for inside the month of October 1st. For that October 1st, the preparation will be by the federal government. Those areas where it will be deemed safe, they be matched. Those where they will be safe, the ASA them, mobile wing unit them, they will be reassigned for carrying out different operations them for home front. We see the big picture for front, but we know this is some small picture them for back, because why? Some fighter they do they hit and run. When they hit, they run. And if you get them a snap picture, so when they hit and run, sometimes their phone it get problem for not download certain pictures them. Sometimes they go hit. It will take them 2 or 3 days for them for download, or a week for them for get network for that area for download pictures and for send them away. So, but anytime the picture they come, we write the date and then we try for get them out. Some they will not give them a picture them because one they show their face already. So they say no, this one not be qualified for send out for the public. For the Independence First, that October 1st, Independence Day, Ambazonia State Army they be marched in ground military style. They've marched in order. It will be APS, Ambazonia Presidential Security Unit. That means that this unit, the way they guide the president of Ambazonia, the Ambazonia Presidential Security Unit, they be marched. They be followed by Ambazonia State Army, 2nd Battalion, 3rd Cavalry. They be marched. Ambazonia State Army, 2nd Brigade, 4th Regiment, Mobile Wing. This mobile wing they comprise of infantry, scout, artillery, engineering, paramedic, highway patrol. Infantry na foot soldier them. Scout na those where they go work and find out what the enemy did for they report them for we. And then artillery na people they put potato and pumpkin for survey they put them. And engineer them they as well they work with artillery for carry out those things. Paramedic now where military people when they don't want somebody, then they carry out those things for help. And I want to thank the doctor they work with us. I want to thank all the doctors who did work with us. And then for highway patrol, we get highway patrol for the control highway patrol when something happen for road. We are Amazon State Army, they take control. We are paramedic they be trained how for use tourniquet and rubber for tie person when it be bleed. We want thank traditional leaders and two where they intervene to for use traditional medicine for treat we fighter them. All traditional chiefs them one thank for that work. And all we are forum for medical personnel. We may be member for there as well. One time when we get a wounded person for ground, we take pictures and send them for those forums. They brainstorm and we look them and then we tell them cameras for them for applying for them. And we thank the nurses and the medical professional them for ground when they intervene for give us treatment for point A to point B for make and say make we not get too much death for ground. So we don't know how for manage gunshot wound for any part of the body. We don't know how to manage them. Unless if you need a surgery, that way you call for concern. But when they shoot you from your hand down to your or for your foot for any side, we don't know the way they for manage and the kind of bacteria the way they associate with the gunshot wound. We don't really map them out. Then they be carried out. We want tank. Then they be matched by ASA Immigration Enforcement 1st Brigade, ASA Postmaster 5th Company 2nd Cavalry, ASA Sanitation Unit 2nd Platoon, ASA 2nd Police Unit, 2nd Squad, 3rd Platoon. And then again, for the month of October, we'll be given a decorative medal. That's National Defense Service Medal for all Ambazonia State Army. For them for hold the country strong, for protect the country at the time of war. And then again, as such, the special one, them, like the various commander, them, they get fire wash medal for them for keep the fight burning for ground. And then for October, transition draft ABB and maison lockdown ABB as such. That's October 27 ABB. Then for the October 31st, we give a guardian angel medal. Guardian angel medal, na medal where you get for the Ambazonia State Army, where they get dogs, where they get pets, or any animal. So when they get dogs, so when they get pussy for their unit them, so when they get horses for their unit them. When I was saying October 1st, they be matched with those animals. Those animals, yes, we help for feed and too. So now money for transition drive, you help for feed the animals and too. If I need $1,000 for carry out operation, therefore, if you get pet for the at least 1,100, it will make a difference because dog it chop too, they will give dog. Dog help for guide way, it help for sniff survey Cameroon army day, it help for follow some of the army them their track, it notify we. Horses help for transport material them for inside for ground. The horses them, they carry heavy equipment them from point A to point B. That way, it make a fighter they be relief for places them. And then other animals like goats and pigs, they become like a food. So we thank them. And again, animals and too again, it be used as therapy. Sometimes fighter don't go shoot gun, he don't tire, he sleep under a tree. Just say the fact that dog can sleep for corner, he pet the dog, it be like a therapy for he. So we come for the month of November. For the month of November, Cameroon will be hit by a big depression for the country, where their debt rose, their debt it rise to 3 trillion, and they know if you handle them, so they be past that cost for other section them like so they cotton, Sonara, and then as Cameroon it pass that debt for those company them, you know we get half of raise money. So Cameroon colonial minister of public health and higher education minister, they become out what they call and say aptitude test, where they tell me you go take some exam, and those exams they be set up now mostly anglophone they be register for the 60,000 CFA for register for the exam. Why you pass the exam, they give you no integration. They say this, so you have to go take the higher education on again. So they make mafia for extort money from Ambazonia people them again. Where they be do. For the month of November, we thank those fighters for prison yard where they carry out operation for Saturday they be carry. We know they call the particular area so that Cameroon government go lay emphasis for go to fight those area them. And then for the month of November, we get a 10-day lockdown for ground as such, where the Nkom traditional festival it will be cancelled as ASA they will put their foot for ground, they make various announcements, them the government to be at the voice, so that the Nkom until the Nkom cultural festival it will be cancelled for ground. And when I be here for ground, fighter they will say we go clean Bamenda, we go clean the ground. The wounded squad they will say no joy for the wicked, one mommy, one papa. So, and then again, we thank the ASA for home front, and I will King Diamond be say, they say we don't surrender, but we there around the corner, they come. So Cameroon Army they say we don't surrender, but King Diamond be say we there around the corner, we come. So we there around the corner, we come. So and then for the month of December, many sticks they will be harvest for the various localities and for ground when I see them for this thing when I see them. Now, Paddy, before I round up, this thing not will be possible without my and papa them for ground for them for the give intelligence. Intelligence they come for all sorts of people in for ground. You know, imagine say 80-year-old man will say, I say Willy, I see army to go for the corner now. When I send Ambazonia army, they go shoot them, move on from my bush. Once they come, they go run. Mommy will get the bush back. Mommy will say, Papa, they don't come out. At the time, mommy they live chop for where I fight them for bush for them for chop. At the time, they see army for road, they tell where I fight and say, I'm my picking on I go left and I no go right. Army they did for day. So now mommy and papa them effort for grant, they make them would be successful for this thing. But overall, now Dr. Samuel Sakwe come and he order executive order we say we move Cameroon army for our land. He say we move Cameroon government, Cameroon everything. If we don't give executive order, if we don't sign them, he post them out. So whatever order will pass on for ground, not enough for Willy or for my department, not enough for any other department. Now President Sako he give that order, say we will move them for ground. The ANSC, they do a great work as such for carry out operation for ground and for pass information for ground for communicate. Communication department, they do their work. Each department, they do work. Last but not the least, why would we move forward for, say, the coming January the 1st, 2025? We know one time we'll see camion them inside our town in Ambazonia. Any camion will see our governor for many, many reasons. When I don't forget, when I look and find, Those camion them for inside Ambazonia, they don't run a lot of people in first for road. Not for the military side, for civilian side, they don't run a lot of people in for road. They kill them. Camion they don't run, lost brakes, keep people in for road. Run, keep people in for road for inside Ambazonia. Those record them will see compiler will give them again in future. Then how many people they don't kill them due to camion for road? Camion that they can't carry where chop. They carry where chop. They can't go down for the Republic. If this war for be the reverse now true, say now will be for Cameroon government in position on a French people for alarm. They've already stopped chopping the camp for us. They've already stopped a long time ago. If now will be for their position, they've already stopped. So make we try for me can say make camion they know the camp again for alarm. We'll go send a picture out and a flyer for the kind motor they know the camp. 18-wheeler, setting trucks them where they carry where chop then go and I go see the picture. So when I go follow them and for reinforcer. Bosses don't know the camp. Those bosses as Barrister Fru John Nsoh talk. That boss when you talk to a barrister, they've already put the announcement since last year 2023, and all measures they in place. That boss where they carry for come for Yaoundé and Douala. Now military spies they inside that boss, not passengers them, because when the boss enter Ambazonia, they enter a war zone. Bosses have already banned for inside Ambazonia since long. So any boss will enter when they hit them, they put it inside, they go die at their own risk. People they enter those buses, they feel come for Yaoundé. They can't pass straight, go for Nigeria. We would already talk to boss, they don't be banned inside Ambazonia. President Sako, we don't really give ultimatum. Say we move any foreigner inside our land with a lot of Republic people them and them. Now, why I was saying make camions they no come, as camions they come for inside our land, they remove evidence. When we are Ambazonia State Army, they don't blow motor, so they check out. Cameroon Army will come for that area, can't surrender people to Calais, force them, make they pick those particles them for those motor, then put them inside their camion. Then they cover them, they can't go back for Yaoundé. So that's the reason that we'll tell them say those things will come. And with timber, they go, where cocoa, they go, where everything, they go. The whole thing of leave Cameroon crumble. When they come for the economy and diplomatic side, but Barrister Fru they go handle that side. So the time when I for work and services, for those who they alive, the time when those who they don't die, we do it now. God bless we.
Amazing. Barrister Fru, before you comment, I want to use the opportunity to welcome Barrister Mbeseha and Dr. Fred Lobati. You are all those who have partnered with this initiative. How do you feel listening to Commander Willy give to us those that important statistics and report? I'll begin with you, Barrister Fru, then Barrister Mbeseha, and Dr. Fred, before we move into the importance of this phase, transition phase, and diplomacy. Talk to us, Barrister.
Paddy, I must tell you that I am very impressed with Commander Willy's report. He has painstakingly taken analysis month by month and the situation on the ground. And I take this opportunity to thank him for the job he's doing, and that Ambazonians are counting on him to continue until this whole quagmire ends. That is all I have to say, but he has done a fantastic job. I don't see anybody who could have done better. Thank you.
Amazing. Barrister Mbeseha, please.
Well, thank Willy for the in-depth report that he has given us.
Oh, Barrister Mbeseha, sorry, just a minute. When I know you thank me, I get a team who work with them. This one I credit for all my team members.
We're thanking you and your team.
Okay,
thanking you and your team.
All right, thank you.
You are not a commander to yourself. You are not a commander to yourself. You are a commander to a series of people.
Amazing. Barrister Mbeseha, please.
So, I think, as Mr. Nsoh has said, when we say Willy, we're not referring to the Willy in person. We're referring to the Willy as the head of department, as the head of a team of people. Because everything works well if there's a good leader. And that is it. I would rather want to just say that all what you have said is absolutely important, but it's a reminder to all of us. We're heading to January 5th, 2025, marking the day Sisiko was taken away. Those who captured him thought that they were ending the revolution, thought that was the end of the war. But as we have it right now, the war has become stronger and stronger. Again, You see, the whole year we have talked about division, coup plotters, blacklegs, and so on and so forth. And I will only just use one to end this more few minutes. When Christian who says, we impeached and removed Sako, but it's going nowhere. As we get to this end of the year, it's just a reminder that we are here to stay. We are here stronger than ever before. And so as we enter the end of the year and the next chapter that is going to come right now, remain encouraged based on what Commander Willy and his team have told us. We're stronger than ever before. We are nearer home than ever before. And so to every Ambazonian, no matter the critics, no matter the hardship, we persevere. We're getting nearer and nearer to the end of the journey. Thank you, and over to you.
Amazing. Dr. Fred, please, so that we can move on to important aspects of diplomacy.
I'm not a military expert, so I'm just giving my own little small assessment of the way I look at things. If you remember, when La République declared war on our people, remember that in 2017, on September the 22nd, all of our people came out in all the different corners of our nation in Ambazonia, including dogs, grandparents, swept the roads, cleaned all around, and marched like one man. And that colonial governor in the southwest started calling our people dogs, that they would deal with us. And then La République unleashed their wicked military to be killing our people with military helicopters in Bamenda. And our people, in good honesty, were resisting and succeeding, to the point where La République removed all their military equipment in Yaoundé and were sending some through Douala to the southern zone. People in Douala were on the streets screaming and said, is this the level to which the war has arrived, where La République is going to war with all their military tanks? And then in the northern zone, if you remember, the current minister or secretary of military in the presidency went to the northern zone while Diongute was in the southwest trying to pretend to be preaching peace, and said that they were going to deal with us. They're trying to make that division, give the impression that the northern zone is the part that is causing trouble. And Diongute was in the southwest trying to preach peace, and he came to the northern zone and declared that they would deal with us militarily. And then military equipment went through Mbunda, and they went, even at night, you could see them in Ketunjia with lamps. And our boys literally defeated La République militarily. They were humiliated. La République was trained, military was trained not only by the French, the Western powers, even the US involved, Germany and Britain. They have all been training La République military in the name of fighting Boko Haram. And La République brought all that experience of having been trained by the Western authorities and powers, all against Ambazonia. And our boys who have never been trained, who have never been equipped, fought with their bare hands and literally humiliated La République military. So they decided to take another strategy. If you remember, when La République was fighting our people, they sent first the Bulus. One Bulu guy who is supposed to be in their Senate was bragging that his brother was in Ambazonia, and he has given him instructions to make sure he kills at least 30 of us. And when they were humiliated, so La République now pulled their military leaders back into the ministry to sit in offices and only send or write orders, earning a lot of money but not creeping in the grass. So now they started sending other people. They started sending people that are like from Ambazonia, people like from the Bamnike land or the Northeast. That's why the general controlling in the northern zone right now is the Northeast. So La République got their Bulus, who are cowards, put them in the offices as senior military people being paid high sums of money but send other children to come and die in the field. And in the process of this, when they had been humiliated, I know they are killing our people, then the next strategy was to bribe our people, to do everything possible, not only to bribe the boys on the ground who were fighting, deceiving them that they were going to the DDR centers to be reintegrated, where they will basically hypnotize them, transform their thoughts, and use them like Nyambere to come and fetch out where our people were hiding and training and fighting to neutralize them. And then also to buy some of us abroad. Many that used to speak for Ambazonia were bought off with heavy sums of money. I don't want to give names. And they were now collaborating with La Republique, calling back our boys and deceiving them, giving the impression that they were fighting for us, and revealing their hideouts so that La Republique will kill them. That is the one strategy that they used. And in spite of that, they also went to the point where the La Republique military was now camouflaging and dressing like what they call Amba fighters. That means La Republique military trained in EMEA were dressing like non-military people and going around pretending to be Amba fighters to terrorize our people in the name of Ambazonian fighters, who were not Ambazonian fighters. And they would go around and rain bullets all over the town, extort money from people in collaboration with those guys that had been bought off. And that is the tactic that they're now using, besides co-opting our chiefs into a society of so-called chiefs, bribe them there. Like you heard one of those chiefs bringing his sons and daughters and calling them Amba boys, and that they will deal with them. Co-opting the so-called elites. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that they have used different tactics. But militarily, La Republique was humiliated by untrained Ambazonian children. And then they decided to use different tactics by now camouflaging to look like us in order to destroy us and bribe some of us, not only outside, but also in the land. But in spite of all of these things that they are doing, they will not succeed. That is my own assessment on it. I can say many more things, but that's how I have perceived it. I'm not a military tactician, but that's how I saw things happening.
That's amazing. I enjoy the way you all have brought in the analogy or the analysis of where we're coming from militarily and where we are today, the impact of the transition fund drive. Now we're going to try to project the future from our different perspectives as we move into the impact of not just the transition fund drive, but particularly the transition fund drive on advocacy and propaganda and diplomacy right after the break. So we can paint the picture as we transition into the Zoom meeting for Ambazonians who are there this evening to conclude this year in a very strong way. So stay tuned.
People of Ambazonia, the countdown is on. The highlight of the year is almost here.
Fellow Ambazonians, on this day years ago, we all rose as one nation to assert the independence of our beloved country, Ambazonia.
In just a few hours, get ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. On December 31st at 8 p.m. Amba time, join us for an inspiring evening as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Ikone Sako, delivers the much-anticipated presidential end-of-year address to the nation.
This is the time to point our guns at the enemy only and not on ourselves. This is the time to escalate the defense of Homeland with rock-solid determination.
Brought to you by State House Media and airing exclusively on ABC Networks 24 in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Pidgin English. Don't miss the chance to hear directly from our leader as we ring in the new year together.
Dear people of the Southern Cameroons, we deserve our own society where our people can live in peace and dignity, as was envisaged by our founding fathers.
Mark your calendars, set your reminders, and gather your loved ones. This is one address you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Amazonians. Fortunately, I have the right people now on board, and Commander Willy has been telling us that he has very little or nothing to say there. But I guess he's going to say something because it is what they do on the ground that supports whatever the lawyers and the minds of Ambazonia are advising the government to do in the diasporic community. Now we are looking at global politics, the dynamics, and things are changing. How Ambazonia is equipping themselves to attend to the future of diplomatic evolutions and dynamics. Mr. Fru earlier on was trying to tell us how we're preparing ourselves with the transition fund drive for any eventuality on the ground. I want us to talk on the significance of for us as a people to be equipped in terms of advocacy. We have the Kansas City 3 case still ongoing. You all are well briefed of the processes that are taking place. You have all the diplomatic efforts. I'd like us to begin in that delight. How is this transition fund drive really important as we prepare ourselves towards the future in diplomacy, advocacy, and propaganda? I'll begin with you, Barrister Fru, Barrister Mbeseha, and then we'll get to Dr. Fred. Barrister Fru, please talk to us.
Paddy, I will not talk about transition draft vis-a-vis advocacy, diplomacy, and all what you mentioned, because we know very little. But you know that the federal government is in the driver's seat now. All the drafts that we have done, including the transitional draft, are being brought into play. For the Kansas City 3, this year was very important because if you remember, the global push that took place sometime within the year yielded a lot of fruits, even though the democratic government of President Biden has, for the first time in my life as a lawyer trained in the United States, I have never seen where people have been detained for more than 2 years without trial. It's an abuse of justice. It's abuse of the process of the legal process laid down by the Constitution in its 14th Amendment, and I am shocked of that. In spite of all the presentations that were done to the Attorney General of the United States and his reply to Dr. Mongwa and others, which indicated that it was more of a civil matter than criminal matter, I am still shocked that our people are still sitting in prison in the Kansas City. And it will be a travesty for Mr. Biden to leave power, and our people will still be sitting in that jail, in the Kansas City jail. He has all the powers. He has the pardoning power. He has been using it, but it looks like the Kansas City 3 are not his preoccupation, and that is unfortunate. For what is happening in the ICC, we have not. Our department, my senior colleague and chairman of the Judicial Council can bear me witness that we have not spent any money on that light. We have been working almost from nothing, and the matter is gone without financing from anywhere. So I can only talk about that. I will not know what is happening in diplomacy. Because I'm not. I beg your pardon?
That's quite amazing. What you have said there is more than enough. I can tell you, it's just amazing what you have said. I think I appreciate the way you put and the way you're choosing your words. So by Mbeseha, I'm coming to you now. how important is it for us to be equipped also in all of these initiatives? Because I understand you may not want to also give details like Barrister Fru, but I understand that the objective of this initiative is to get us equipped as things are fast changing to be ready to take important decisions that will really enable us transition. In this regard, how important is that to us? By Mbeseha, please talk to us.
I think it is wonderfully important. There's almost nothing to hide. Let me just underline these issues. You said we're in the United States in the majority. In the United States, there's no free. There's no free lunch. If somebody offers you free lunch, that's strange here. So we need this money in every aspect. So far, the Kansas City 3 are still there. But we've spent a lot of money trying to get them out. They are not yet out, but they will be out. They're not going to walk out freely without us spending the money. Money is needed at all levels to get them out. And as long as they remain there, we have two types of prisoners now. We have the Konengi, 10 and others locked up there in Yaoundé. They're a reminder to the people at home that the battle is not yet over. We have the Kansas City 3 hanging here in prison for not just reason. A good reminder for those of us who give money to know that we have to continue to give. And we have to remember, earlier, 2, 3, 4 years ago, I predicted that in most revolutions, it takes 10 years to mature. We're now almost in the 8th and 9th year. We're getting to the end of this journey, like it or not. And as we say it in English, there's always darkness before daylight. And sometimes the darkness before daylight is actually dark. But it doesn't mean that daylight will not come. Daylight is coming. In terms of diplomacy and the ICC, we need money. What we did at our own level, we didn't ask any dime. And we don't intend to ask for any money from there. But we shall still need money. Not to hire lawyers, no. Lawyers will be there to prosecute the cases for us. But we need money. What are we going to do with the money? We have to educate our witnesses. The fact that we filed the case, me and Pastor Nsoh, and any of us, we are not witnesses. We might not even be at the ICC court when the case is going on. We are just complainants on behalf of the victims. And those victims need to be educated. They need a lot of money to be trained because they are scattered around the world. Not every victim is found in Cameroon. Call it Garabo, call it Manfred, wherever they are. A lot of them have run away. They have to be identified by us. That this is the cousin, the uncle, the wife of this guy who was killed in Kumba. The wife, the child, the relative of this child who was killed in Garabo, and so on and so forth. And we'll have the ICC to identify them, to get the evidence that we need to prosecute when it is necessary. That is our role. All that needs money. Of course, diplomatically, I've said already, there is no free lunch in the world. It's we want to talk about the international community. Somebody might want to do that thing for you for nothing. But he might have to move out of his house into a hotel for a while. You have to pay those hotel bills. That is not small money for us. Those of us, all of us who are begging $20, $10, $15. It's a big sacrifice. And so that is where we are. Again, we're in the 8th year. I predicted 10 years. We're nearing the end of this journey. We've been drafting and drafting and drafting. We should continue to do it, knowing that no matter how heavy the rain is, it is coming to cease. We're getting to the end of this journey, and this journey will not succeed without money. Not to pay Paddy, not to pay me, not to pay those of us sitting here and talking. We invest it in the best that we can find. For the relatives, the wife, the families of the Kansas City 3, let them remain calm. They know that it happens to people. But we have not abandoned them, and we shall not abandon them. We shall provide the little we can for them. We shall provide whatever we can to pay players, get them out through any form, lobbyists and otherwise. And so that is the importance of this transition thing. As we transition, As I earlier said before, we have removed Sako, but Sako is going nowhere until we get to Boya. And this requires money. Over to you, sir.
That's amazing. Dr. Fred, please.
So I wouldn't know exactly where to start, but first of all, I think we need to thank every one of us, every genuine, authentic, honest Ambazonian who is sacrificing in different ways, diverse ways, to see that we earn our dignity and our freedom and our independence, total independence. We need to be grateful. There are some who have been giving money like they do in the drafts. There are some who have rather been fighting like Commander Willy is saying, who don't have money directly. And there are others who do different things. Some pray, for example, that I know about. So we need to be grateful and thank all the Ambazonians that are working hard, honestly, sincerely, to see that we are liberated. Now, we know that there are about 8 to 10 million Ambazonians. But not all of these 8 to 10 million Ambazonians are as active as we are. So when you look at a house, the stones that keep the house standing are not seen. They are usually down deep in the basement. The foundation stones that hold the house, the cornerstone. And if you take away that cornerstone, the house crumbles. But when people come by the road, they see the door, they see the window, they see the roof decoration. This time of Christmas, you see the Christmas lights. But those things are only there because of the foundation stones. And if you remove the foundations, the whole house crumbles. So what I'm trying to say is that this honest, authentic group around President Sako that is truly fighting for our independence, that is the foundation stone of our efforts to get independent. There are other people who have been bought off. There are other Ambazonians that people see that are working with La République du Cameroon. There are others that have benefited from our efforts. So each time we do this, La République flatters those who are working with them. That's why Philemon Yang is Secretary General, is President of the UN General Assembly. They promote them. They make more money. More money goes into their pockets. Those that are willing to work with La République, they are bribed more and get more money into their individual pockets. Those are the ones that are seen. But the people that are truly holding the house, they are the stones that nobody talks about or even despised. Even the Bible says that the stone that the builders neglected and despised and put away and did not consider it important is the stone that holds everything together. So yes, President Sako may not be regarded as anything. When they talk to La République, they make like he's not there. And somebody went to Yaoundé and La République was talking of all the others that they have bought off, that they are negotiating and talking with those people. I don't want to give their names because you will be honoring them and giving them credit. You can put whoever name you know and put in there. But then the guy turned and said, but what about President Sako? Don't you know about him? He has a government, he has a parliament, he has everything, and he's operating like somebody who is ready to go in and rule. And La République is making like they don't know. They know that President Sako and his government is there. They know that they're the ones that they have not been able to compromise and buy off. And they're the ones that they are afraid of and pretending that he is not there. But they are wasting their time because what they think they're doing their best to prevent is going to happen no matter what. The whole world is changing. There are so many things that I can say. The United States was rocked since 2015 by like this Trump guy who has dominated US politics for all these years. You can analyze it your own way you like. He has rocked people's minds and consciences to the point where it's like they have no choice but to live with him. The US government has been rocked. The French government literally collapsed. The only person who was able to stand is Macron. His prime minister had to resign. They're struggling to find somebody to take over. The parliament was changed to the point where Macron has no majority. Just this week, the Canadian government collapsed. They're even asking for Trudeau to resign. A lot of changes occurring across the world, in Europe, in Britain. The Conservative Party was put down and others took over. In Germany, the government itself is not on strong foundation, is going to collapse. And Assad thought he still controlled things in Syria, but within a short time, he's out. And his son was hung in public there, and his military are running away and looking for where to hide their heads because his tribe was a minority group. Just a few weeks ago, they thought they were still in control. And so many other things. So when people think they have things in control, they don't. So anyway, what I'm trying to bring out is that the world is changing dramatically all around the world. And this also will happen in La République du Cameroon and with us. The French are the people who are controlling La République, like we have said in other programs. But you notice that the French are losing it, first of all, in Francophone Africa, to the point where they are now reaching out to English-speaking African nations like Ghana. Ghana has been co-opted as a Francophonie nation. Then they are approaching Nigeria, trying to co-opt it. They are trying to flatter Kenya by going to hold the next Francophonie in Kenya. They're trying to get the Portuguese territories like Angola is an observer in the Francophonie. They're trying to get Mozambique and all. The French are now reaching out everywhere for anybody that they can, because they realize that they are losing it. And it does not matter. The French are going to lose it. In spite of the fact that they're trying to reach out and bribe the English-speaking nations, they will not get them under their grip and control. They will lose it eventually, as they have lost all across the world in the past. So things are changing, and the change will reach us. 2025 is going to be a big year in La République du Cameroon because they must prove to the United Nations that they held elections. They usually cheat and steal, but the person that Atanganji is doing everything, intimidating the opposition to win the election, is an old man that may not be alive the day that the election is held. And even if the election is held and they claim that he has won, it's going to be an embarrassment to the whole wide world. But what I'm trying to say is that it's going to be a tornado, a volcanic activity in La République du Cameroon in 2025. And beyond that, Ambazonia will emerge. And all those our brothers who are pretending, standing in the fence, making like they are not engaged. I have classmates who are like deans in faculties and other big things who pretend and say, oh, we advise United Nations workers on our cultural things. They are not active. They don't give any money to their LGAs and make like that their thing, that your thing. They're just waiting. And once we emerged, they will show up and suddenly say, I'm a professor of this, I was dean of that, and give you all the... But what I'm trying to say is that we who are the cornerstone, foundation stones, let us not give up, because we are the people holding the house, and eventually we will emerge victorious. And those our brothers that have been compromised, they will come back home when they realize that, yes, we have arrived, and what they were standing on was just a false foundation that is collapsed. Anyway, I can say many more things, but I'll just stop right there.
Amazing. I'm still going to come back to you as we conclude. This is the last question I'm going to ask to all of us, 4 of us. I'll begin with you, Commander Willy. It is clear from the analogies we've had here this evening that the dynamics are changing on the ground and in global politics, and there is room for us to take advantage. I ask you, Commander Willy, as the commander of the ground, do you think we are ready based on your strategic networking on the ground? Do you think we are ready as Ambazonians to sustain the future that is gradually appearing before us, the nearby future? And how do you think we are ready for that? What do you think Ambazonians must do today to enable this readiness in such a way that you will be much more excellent in whatever endeavor you get yourself involved with? Talk to us.
Yes, Mr. Paddy, Ambazonia, it don't really be ready for day one. But before I go to that, make a thought something. We don't say for Manu County, as a county coordinator of Manu County, the deadline don't pass when today, the 21st. We will say make all spiritual leaders they made a leave Manu County. We don't say make all spiritual leaders they made a leave Manu County. That's on the 20th, by the 20th of this December. So today the 21st. So if you're a spiritual leader, I know we'll call your name, you nothing for do. So now, why you talk with Amazon, they don't be ready. Mr. Paddy, when they manage a country, And the country, it don't always be ready. Since from 1960, 19, whatever it is for history. We don't always be ready. Now, which language we will tell you, say this way, we don't want Cameroon government again. Where parents, they don't fight. They don't fight for all kind of fight. They don't go diplomacy, all kind of thing. The two way to hold this revolution back. Now, all we. And why they hold this revolution back? Now, say we get too much educated people in Ambazonia. Now we hold the revolution back. We get too much educated people. When too much educated people they be for fight war, then they get some laxity. When we get for carry out city operation them, they think book. Book talk say we do so. Book say make we do so. Book say make we wait. Book say make we no kill. Book say make we no do so. But the anyway the can kill, you know they read the books. Now because say we Ambassador they read the books. Now way they make this war they stay for 8 years. Left to me, this war will not finish the first day. Probably I say war don't start today. We don't have the same day already finished. Because for just do a lockdown, kill all Cameroon people inside our land. Do a lockdown one, they just kill all of them. But these people that they learn book, they will say no. Book say more will do so. Book say more will do so. Now I book the whole way for back for this war. The more they book the whole way for back, the more with the baby step. The more people that they suffer, the more people that they die. If we keep book for corner, we'll fight this war like crazy people. When I see the war, it don't finish today. But apart from that, we'll not keep book aside. So because maybe I can't hang my head, we will follow book ways to for a certain extent. Why would they move for this war? The maintenance for people that for grant for they follow the orders and the rules the way President the gear. President now be commander in chief. When one go left, he say will come right. We'll go for follow that because now the driver the sister way the boss they go. We will be motorboy inside the bus. So sometimes we'll pull the button and President say no. We'll go for listen. Because we get the trust for you. So when you ask if us if already be ready, Mr. Paddy, you yourself you be tiger, you be a fighter, or do you catch it on the television, they give you gun, you go check out for Grammy and know you. Just like Barrister Fru and the rest. Although they for diaspora here, just the fact that you know to sleep, you come on TV 24/7, they keep us alert, informed. If you know how many life we don't save up. Which ready you want them to be ready again? We don't Papa they don't carry books and go get from United Nations, they read the books, go until now Barrister Fru they don't carry diplomatic ways and meet up ICC. Where they do on for that side. Me, I not be vested for that side for diplomacy and those things. Na barrister, I never can talk for that kind of side. Because on the own side for talk. If I can't talk for this international community, I talk today, tomorrow they will come out. But they will call with different name. So I got for respect the order with President Gia and I work for President guidelines. So whenever President Sako say make we stop, when they say make we do anything we will do, we follow my order. So over to you.
According to what we're getting from you, the ground is ready to sustain whatever it entails. Barrister Fru, please.
I like for talk for pigeon for follow what the way Commander Willy don't talk. Make Commander Willy know say now that book we make I start this fight for Ground Zero. You say you will hear me. Now that book make me I know all the things that we have to talk for Ground Zero. Now that book where you see Barrister Mbeseha the talk right from what way ABDC when they there for Côte d'Ivoire and they use that knowledge now for bring our people together. Now that book make them you see for ICC apart from Ayabacho where nobody where they talk big grammar, now you go space his ICC. Oh, now also now that book make them with the protect when I say more not do things them way. They will take when I go for ICC. Well, I thought I should reply a little bit in pidgin to follow what my good friend Commander Willy just said. Now back to the real question, Paddy. Ambazonia had been ready things. The things 2021. If not of the coup plotters, La Republic would have been chased out of our territory. But our people are enemies to themselves. The coup plotting of 2021 had a negative effect on the struggle. But we bounce back. We are now ready. It is not that what happened in 2021 will never happen again until we get to Boya, and we're getting to Boya very, very, very soon, sooner than you think. So we are saying, all I'm saying is that we are ready, and we are ready to take the shocks that La Republique will bring, and like Dr. Fubati, like Dr. just said, La Republique is going to burn. It's going to burn. Look, all the signs are ready, are there. Everybody is saying 2025 is a very, very big year for everybody in Central Africa. La Republique, you saw the Central Africa conference that the heads of state held in Yaoundé. It was a disgrace that after they pumped him with, I don't know what they pumped him with, he went and spoke, and then on his way back to his chair, he fell like a baby on the ground, and was being picked up like they're carrying a baby. That is a disgrace to Cameroon, that had been looked upon as a leader in Central Africa. Why would Cameroon, with all its might in Central Africa, with all what they have been in Central Africa, allow an authoritarian like Paul Biya, who is 92 years old, to still be disgracing them left and right? He disgraced them in Washington by gassing all over the place. He disgraced them in China. He disgraced them everywhere. He disgraced them in Yaoundé. And they still think they have a head of state. I don't know what these people think that they are doing. But we are not going to be part of that nonsense. We have since left. We just want them to burn so that we can take the ashes and build our nation. I'm not going to say anything more than that.
Mbeseha, my question was this, and the answers that I've received so far is good. But there's an aspect of it that I want you've always educated Ambazonians on, and I hope you may want to reiterate, because this evening is quite important. When I'm talking about our readiness, I'm looking on the evolution, our maturity in taking our own destiny in our hands since we begin the war. I feel like the pilot structures we're creating, the government pilot structures, the institutions, mostly virtual institutions or pilot institutions that we're establishing, the endeavors we're making to confront nations is part of that preparedness and readiness. So my question is this: when you're looking at the dynamics that you have mentioned, and everyone here, especially Dr. Lobati, went into he spent some time this week talking about what France is doing, and things are fast changing that more faster than anyone would have even expected. When you're looking at all of that, do you really think Ambazonia at this time is very comfortable with the changes that will probably be taking place globally? And how is this transition fund drive instrumental in the effort that we are putting in together to be even more ready?
Let me divide my answer into two sections. Are we ready? I refer it to us in diaspora, this government in exile. I think this government in exile is more ready than the Cameroon government in Yaoundé. We're even better than the French government in France. Because someone had told the story 2 years back that we're going to come back to where we are, just 2021, 2022. In Gambia, people would not have believed it. But we are here stronger than we were just 18 months ago, doing what nobody contemplated we could ever do. So from our own perspective, sitting abroad, we are more ready, we are more matured than any other person, than any other revolution before us. And the second phase of it is, are we ready? I refer to the people back home. Everybody, I think, is more than ready. When you look at the surveys of Cardinal Toumé, may rest in peace, who talks of absolute separation, 75%, 80% of the people, and other studies. They are not talking about the surveys were not concerning us in diaspora. They concern the ordinary farmer in Batibu, in Womb, in Manfe, the ordinary citizen. Cardinal Tumaniva lives here. He lives at home there. And why do we have that massive desire to live? It is because almost 99% of Ambazonia, each of them, has tasted the bitter coffee, the bitter tea of Yaoundé. There's nobody in Ambazonia who has not tasted this bitterness. And I've always had the opportunity to say, we have criticized our pastors, our bishops, and our popes. And I said, look, the day will come. All these people will flood the churches and worship the bishops and the pastors. They are with them just to take communion as far as this revolution is concerned. They are 100% ready to kick out the enemy. And all of them know who the enemy is. And so we are more than ready. And again, come 2025, we have the opportunity to kick this people off. We are going to start off 10 times, 100 times better than the Republic of Cameroon. Administratively, financially, socially, and politically. We are going to take off better than them. They have never, I don't care where Paul Biya lives or not. If Paul Biya is dead or loses power, the next person is not going to be different from him. Africa under France will never change. Just like the French themselves have never changed. And so we're escaping from the whole idea of Francophonie. Anything French is not part of our DNA. And so we are ready, I think, and I'm sure I'm saying the right thing. I was giving the example of my native Libya. Go there, the soldiers are there, they're not fighting anybody anymore. But everybody knows. They know them. When they see them, the soldiers who are there know that these are people who are dangerous. And so they are more than ready at every angle of Ambazonia, be it in a Yumuja, be it in Akwaya, be it anywhere. Our people back home are ready. We're fighting this battle for them. We'll be too lucky, me and Mr. So we'll be damn lucky to go back home, to go stay in Bamenda or stay in Libelem to enjoy the fruits. But I can tell you, our people, the generation that is being brought up by Commander Willy and his team, is more than ready. When we open our schools, when we open our councils, at the very least, if we don't have time to tie the streets the first day, we'll have water to water the dust, which Yaoundé does not even have. They don't even understand that they need to water the dust to prevent cough, in spite of all the money and all the political connections that they have. So again, to your answer, we are more than ready. Well, what we need to do is to add fuel and cross the river. And that will be
amazing.
And this
Dr. Fred.
And this fuel of crossing the river is nothing more than the draft, the penny, the widow's mite. Over to you.
Yes, Dr. Fred, please.
I believe that Barrister Mbeseha says that we are more than ready. We should believe in ourselves. We should have faith that we have it in us to actualize our independence. You know, some of us are thinking that you want to wait for the United Nations or some great nation to come and say that we are free. No. When that time comes, the leaders among us will emerge. We have talents. We have a lot of people among us who are good people, who know how to do things. We are more experienced than those thieves in La République de Cameroon called ministers. I believe that when the change has come and we start the development, those among us who are little thieves in the towns, like those our boys that are going around and trying to extort some little money because they have no jobs under Biya's government, they will have more than enough work to do, honest work to earn pay. We will not see those kinds of thieves among us. And I think that this revolution has lasted this long and given us an opportunity to test those who we were looking up to as leaders. You know, there are some of them, if you remember, like Abu Bala, when this thing started and they were just talking in Douala and he was talking in whether it's Equinox or something, and we're saying that the time will come when La Republique will offer us federation and we will say no. People looked up to him as our leader. But eventually he was locked up in La Republique, and then La Republique was able to do their magic with him, and he came out and he's working with them to just save his head by living in La Republique de Cameroon and not be molested by the military. Many others. So I think it has given us our opportunity to know who is truly strong, and who can easily be bought off. But besides that, there are many among us that we have not yet seen. We have not heard their names, that are going to be excellent, that are going to be wonderful leaders. As soon as the train has arrived and we start the change, people will be so excited like we were on September 22nd of 2017, that we will gather in Boya and write our final constitution and select the government and move to work. And then before you know, within 5 years, we would have overtaken so many other countries and started shooting for the skies. We don't even want to take Rwanda as an example. We will be but Ambazonia and better. And the development will be there. Our talents will come home. I believe that we're ready. What I will encourage us is that we should know, you can call the draft different names, but we should be ready to continue giving. Make up your mind. So this year, 2024, this is what I've given. If you continue to be healthy and working, what do you want to give next year? Plan it in your budget. We know how much money we make, how much we pay for our rents, how much we pay for our cars, and whatever obligations we have. You don't necessarily have to buy a big flat TV that fills an entire wall. Decide for yourself, how much money do you want to dedicate for Ambazonian cause? And do that next year. They can give it different names for the draft, but let's continue doing it as long as we're able to, we're healthy and living until we arrive at the land. If we don't arrive, no problem. Moses did not enter the promised land, but Joshua went there with the children of Israel. So we may be fighting now and never enter, but yes, our land will be free, totally liberated. We'll have very strong, able leaders, and we will emerge as a great nation in Africa and known throughout the world. That's what I personally believe. I believe that we're ready.
Nothing can be better or well spoken than what you all have said this evening. I don't want us to waste so much time. It's about 11:30 p.m. in Ambazonia already, and
in Europe,
and stakeholders are already here, ready to get the ball rolling. I'm sure for those who are watching us and they are not yet on the Zoom, we're going to be shutting down the live stream on the social media so you can join the president in the Zoom meeting. But I just want to, I'm sure some of you have seen the publicity. We have new coordinates. We have received tests from the ground. There are a lot of people. We have received confirmation from Nigeria and other countries in West Africa that they can receive our channel, the new channel. We have received confirmation also from some individuals, one of them in Bamenda, in Mezam, actually saying they are receiving. Please make sure you just rescan your channel with the new coordinates and let us know if you're getting the images so that we can give feedback to the satellite company and let them know exactly what is happening. Those who have Canal Plus Horizon, you can also find us there. Give us feedback on that. In Europe, you can watch us through Canal Plus, and in much part of Africa, you can watch us through DSTV. Make sure you give us feedback on that. That's quite amazing. I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this pre-session of the Transition Fund Drive. I'm therefore calling on all those who are watching us to join the Zoom meeting now so that we can meet the president for this wonderful evening in preparation of the final days of this wonderful year of 2024. See you in the Zoom meeting. Bye-bye.
wishing all the people of southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, a Christmas filled with hope, peace, and the warmth of unity in the face of conflict. May the spirit of Christmas bring comfort to the prisoners of conscience, strength to the refugees, and courage to the Ambazonian restoration forces. Let the light of the season inspire us to stand together in solidarity and work towards a future of peace and freedom. From ABC Amba TV, on behalf of the government of Ambazonia, may the message of love and resilience shine brightly in the hearts of all. Christmas of hope, unity in adversity. People of Ambazonia, the countdown is on. The highlight of the year is almost here.
Fellow Ambazonians, on this day years ago, we all rose as one nation to assert the independence of our beloved country, Ambazonia.
In just a few hours, get ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. On December 31st at 8 p.m. Amba time, join us for an inspiring evening as the President of the Federal Republic of Ambazonia, His Excellency Dr. Samuel Nkom delivers the much-anticipated presidential end-of-year address to the nation.
This is the time to point our guns at the enemy only and not on ourselves. This is the time to escalate the defense of Homeland with rock-solid determination.
Brought to you by State House Media and airing exclusively on ABC Networks 24 in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Pidgin English. Don't miss this chance to hear directly from our leader as we ring in the new year together.
Dear people of the Southern Cameroons, we deserve our own society where our people can live in peace and dignity, as was envisaged by our founding fathers.
Mark your calendars, set your reminders, and gather your loved ones. This is one address you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.